The Redhead will finally no longer be auctioned off, and is Club 33 coming to the East Coast? That and more in this week's What in the World for March 4th. Welcome to What in the World, a new show where we look at what's been going on in Walt Disney World in the last 7 days. Let's get straight on with this week's news. First up in Magic Kingdom news this week, Pirates of the Caribbean is now under refurbishment from the 25th of February. Disney announced last year that this classic attraction would be receiving some new updates, which would include a major change to the scene in which the infamous Redhead was sold off at auction by pirates. The replacement scene, which will see the Redhead in her new pirate gear, will feature goods being auctioned off instead of the Redhead herself, along with some of the other women, and her new role will be to assist with the taking of items from the townsfolk, including a grandfather clock, a picture frame and goats. This makes the scene more family friendly. The scene has been part of the attraction for 50 years and is one of the only scenes that has remained unchanged since the ride's opening in Disneyland in 1967 and in Walt Disney World in 1973. There have also been slight story changes over the years, with the introduction of some of the characters from the newer movies, including Jack Sparrow and Barbossa. There have also been some slight story changes, with Jack hunting down the pirate's treasure and also being placed in the end scene in the treasure room. Now, the Disneyland version was one of the last attractions that was overseen by Walt himself, and there have been some pushback from fans of the ride who even created a petition to try and stop these changes from being made. However, it looks like Disney has mostly ignored this. Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland Paris debuted this change mid last year, as we can see in this footage. Now, on the last night of operation in Walt Disney World, the ride did go down for a period of time, and fans were seen chanting outside, "We wants the Redhead." The ride opened with about 90 minutes left until park closing. The reopening date for the ride is currently set for March 19th. In other Magic Kingdom news, a new buffet offering will be opening in Pinocchio's Village House in Fantasyland. Geppetto's Dinner Buffet is currently scheduled to be offered from April the 1st from 4 p.m. until park closing on a daily basis. The rumoured prices are $22 for adults and $12 for children. The restaurant will still be quick service during the day, but then will change over to offer this dinner buffet service. This is the same as Be Our Guest, which is currently quick service for breakfast and lunch, and then table service for dinner. Now, we spoke last week about Be Our Guest changing to a fixed price menu, and this costing 2 dining plan credits. Now, some people have stated they won't dine at Be Our Guest anymore with the changes to the menu and the fact it also costs 2 dining plan credits. Geppetto's Dinner Buffet might be an alternative offering for those folks wanting a little bit more of a simpler menu. The new menu is believed to have Italian offerings including chicken parmesan, pasta, salads and meatballs. There will also be desserts including Italian cakes and cannoli. Disney hasn't officially announced this offering as of yet, so it could be subject to change. However, an announcement should be soon so guests can start booking the experience. In Epcot news this week, a Club 33-like restaurant could be making its way to Walt Disney World. This week, to the right of the American Adventure Pavilion in Epcot, a doorbell and a Magic Band scanner has been spotted, as we can see in these photos. Now, this still hasn't been confirmed, as there's no sign unlike in Disneyland on this doorbell. The Disneyland version of Club 33 does have a very similar access bell, where guests are required to be buzzed in through the intercom. For those who don't know, Walt Disney intended Club 33 to be a private place for entertaining high-profile guests when it opened in 1967 in Disneyland. Membership dues do vary in price, up to $20,000 and more according to some sources. Now, as we see in the photos earlier, the door does also have an RFID scanner, which could be used for Magic Bands. This could mean that members may just need to tap to gain access to this exclusive club. There are plans to have a location like this in each of the 4 parks, however nothing has been confirmed by Disney themselves yet. Rumoured locations include the Adventureland veranda at the Magic Kingdom, the upstairs lounge in the American Adventure, which has pretty much been confirmed by this door appearing this week, the former Catwalk Bar at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and also the back room at Tiffin's in Animal Kingdom. In other Epcot news this week, Seaman ended its contract with Disney Parks in October 2017, after 12 years of sponsorship since 2005. Now, signs have remained in the parks up until this week, where it was spotted by BioReconstruct on Twitter. Some of these signs have now disappeared from Spaceship Earth. Later on in the week, it was actually removed from the most recent park maps as well. Siemens did provide much of the funding for the refurbishment of Spaceship Earth back in 2007, which made changes to some scenes and also the Project Tomorrow post-show. There's no word what this might mean for Spaceship Earth, but if we hear any more news on this, we'll let you know. That does lead nicely into our next news item, which is rumours of a replacement show for Illumination's Reflections of Earth. Now, Epcot is going through a bit of reimagination at the moment, as we can see in this concept art from D23 last year. As part of this reimagining, a new show was always expected, but this new show has apparently been fast-tracked to debut sooner rather than later, and the score and the vocals are currently being recorded according to some sources. Illumination's Reflections of Earth is the longest-running fireworks show in any Disney park and has been giving guests thrills since its debut in 1999. What exactly the new show will include or what it will be, we don't know, but it's going to be here sooner than we thought. As we mentioned in last week's show, Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival began this week on the 28th. Disney have announced some of the merchandise that will be available to commemorate this year's event. This year's event will feature over 75 items, including accessories, t-shirts, caps, pins, tumblers, magic bands, and more. Since this year is the 25th anniversary of the Flower and Garden Festival, many items do include a 25th logo. Now, there are 4 new collections available for the Flower and Garden Festival. These are a Mickey's Grove collection that features Mickey, Pluto and Orange Bird, also a Figment Discovers collection, a Fresh Epcot collection, and a Minnie's Farmhouse Flower Shop collection. There will be 2 limited edition retail magic bands, one featuring Mickey Mouse with an orange scented box, and also a Figment annual pass holder exclusive magic band. Both will have an edition size of 2,000. There will also be one more magic band sold later on in the festival, which will be themed to Minnie Mouse and will have a flower scented box. This will be a limited edition of 1,000. Kathy Dawson, product developer of the event, said there's something for everyone to remember a springtime visit to Epcot. Disney also released a brand new advert this week for the Flower and Garden Festival, which features living topiaries.
Spring is alive at the 25th Annual Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, only at Walt Disney World Resort.
The Flower and Garden Festival will run until May 28th. Now, there's not much Hollywood Studios news this week, but we did cover a lot in last week's show with Toy Story Land announcements and also Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. The only news this week is that changes have been made to parking and a new strategy is being implemented to help with congestion when leaving the parks. Sometimes it's hard for guests to get out of a parking row, so some guests will now be directed through row 17 of the stage section. Other guests will be sent through the original route. Both exits still make sure that guests end up on Buena Vista Drive. Now, Animal Kingdom celebrates its 20th birthday on April 22nd this year, which is Earth Day. Disney announced this week, in celebration of this, an extended Party for the Planet will take place from April 22nd until May the 5th. Over the course of this 2 weeks, guests can enjoy family-friendly activities and also animal encounters. They can also attend conservation talks and also talks from the animal care experts themselves. There will also be enhanced interactions with some of the park's 2,000 plus residents. There will also be special photo opportunities with an oversized photo frame celebrating the park's 20th anniversary and also one to celebrate Disney's initiative Reverse the Decline. Reverse the Decline, for those who don't know, was a special initiative that was created by Disney to help protect 10 endangered species. One of the success stories of this project was 2 endangered Sumatran tiger cubs who were actually born in Animal Kingdom. There will also be 6 different Tiffin talks, and these are themed dinners which are hosted by the animal experts at Tiffin's restaurant. Rafiki's Planet Watch will also take centre stage during the event and offer backstage experiences where guests can learn about animal nutrition, wildlife conservation and also visit the veterinary hospital. Also, to celebrate the anniversary, we spoke last week about Up, a great bird adventure featuring Russell and Doug from Disney Pixar's Up. Now, there are also many other experiences to help Animal Kingdom celebrate its 20th anniversary, and one of these will be a chance to meet Imagineer Joe Roddy and have him sign a limited edition print that has been created by himself. Quantities of this I would expect to be very limited, so do get there early if you want a chance to meet Joe. At the end of January, the Swatu Weir Navi Drum Circle show went on hiatus so Disney could have a chance to rework this. The new version of this show debuted earlier this week and features cast members getting guests involved in some Navi musical numbers. The show now features brand new sound effects and also more dialogue from cast members to give those songs more meaning. Now, in last week's show we mentioned about Disney and OtterBox having a brand new partnership. This week some new cases for the iPhone 7 and 8 have been spotted featuring some new Mickey and Minnie designs. The cases are priced at $44.99 for the standard size and $54.99 for the plus size. Now, OtterBox have also released some Star Wars themed cases, and these are for the iPhone 7 and iPhone 8 and priced at the same price point as earlier as well. Now, while we're talking about shopping, Disney in March will also be releasing a brand new collection of merchandise called Meet Me at the Purple Wall. Now, some of you might be thinking, what? But a lot of Disney walls have become Instagram-worthy backdrops due to their quirky colours and designs. Now, one of these most popular walls is the Purple Wall, which is near Tomorrowland Terrace in Magic Kingdom. Now, many people pose at this wall using the hashtag Purple Wall. Disney has decided to jump on this bandwagon and released a magic band and also a cap with the slogan Meet Me at the Purple Wall. Now, the merchandise might be limited, so grab yours on shopdisney.com from March the 5th. And in case you feel the need to post while you're in the parks next time, some of the other walls include Epcot's Bubblegum Wall, Blueberry Wall and the Toothpaste Wall. Now, normally on What in the World, I like to try and talk about Walt Disney World. However, there was a massive announcement for Disneyland Paris fans this week. On Tuesday, Bob Iger met the French President Emmanuel Macron to announce a massive €2 billion expansion to Walt Disney Studios in Disneyland Paris. Now, this began in July 2017 when Walt Disney Company took full control of Disneyland Paris, which they never had since the park's opening back in 1992. Now, we learned from the announcement that Walt Disney Studios Park will be getting 3 brand new themed lands. Now, the first of these will be a Marvel superhero universe and seems to be based around the backlot area. This means that the Armageddon attraction and also Lights Motors Action Stunt Show will be removed. It was also recently announced that Rock and Roller Coaster would be rethemed into an Iron Man ride. The second of these lands is the Kingdom of Arendelle, based on Frozen. As we can see in this concept art, this seems to have a mountain range area and also Elsa's Ice Palace. Now, the third of these lands is a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge area. However, this doesn't seem to be as grand as its Florida or California counterparts, both which take up 14 acres of space. Now, there'll also be multiple new attractions and live experiences, as well as a brand new lake area connecting these lands. Now, from the concept art, we can also see the current Toy Story area seems to be a bit expanded, and we can also even see an alien swirling saucers ride in there. Now, this multi-year development will roll out in phases beginning in 2021, and Disneyland will also open the rethemed Hotel New York as the Art of Marvel as well. Now, the concept art for this is blue sky, and Disney has thrown everything in. This could change over time depending on the budget, but it is a massive announcement and a one that Disneyland Paris fans have been waiting for a long time. Finally this week, Mickey Mouse made his debut in Steamboat Willie on November the 18th, 1928. That means later this year, Mickey will be 90 years old, and Disney have announced worldwide celebrations to mark the event. Now, in the parks, there'll be commemorative merchandise and also photo opportunities, and Disney did announce that later this year, they'll be having the world's biggest mouse party, and that will pay tribute to both Mickey and Minnie in parks around the world. That does it for another week's news from What in the World. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the changes to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Should the ride stay the same, or should it be changed and keep up with the times? Now, if you did like this episode, please drop me a massive thumbs up, as that will help us out as a brand new channel. And if this is the first time you've found us, please subscribe and make sure you hit that notification icon so you don't miss any future episodes of the show. Don't forget you can find us through the week on Facebook and Twitter under What in the D World. And until next week, thanks for watching and we'll see you real soon.